Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Eisdorfer and I am the Reentry and Family Services Case Manager for OAR. So OAR stands for Opportunities, Alternatives, and Resources for Justice-Involved Individuals and Their Families, which we provide in order to help them rebuild their lives and break the cycle of crime, ultimately creating a safer community where individuals of all different backgrounds can thrive and positively contribute. So we do this with a multi-pronged and evidence-based approach, which uniquely it covers the entire spectrum of time from when an individual is still incarcerated, during which time Renee, our jail programs and volunteer coordinator, and her team of trained volunteers facilitate skills-based classes with certificate opportunities, and also where Renee or I can work individually with folks on a pre-release case plan with goals, getting them toward that day of release. On the day of release for there as well, and then up to a whole year or sometimes more after they're released back to the community. So each of these phases has their own set of unique challenges, which I could talk about for years on end, all of the barriers that our folks face trying to be successful after re-entering society. But for the sake of time, I just want to take you through one specific example that I think touches on a lot of the different aspects of the work that we do. So this is a true story from just a few weeks back when the pandemic started. I received a call from a woman who had been released from jail earlier that day. She checked in with probation, made a phone call to her home plan, found out that she had been evicted while she was incarcerated and not able to break that lease. So they had sold all of her belongings as well, and she'd also lost her job. A lot of bad news. She also had no family or friends in the area, no cell phone. Her phone bill was backed up anyway because she couldn't pay while she was incarcerated. And she'd also been released without any extra days of her mental health medication, which they'd called it into the pharmacy for her to pick up, but she had no money to actually go and pay for and get that prescription. So fortunately, probation connected her with us, and we were able to provide her a gift card that night and get her that medication so that she did not go into withdrawal. We were also able to give her some extra for food that night and made arrangements with Loudoun Hunger Relief to cover getting her through the next week of food and after that as well. So we were also able to get her a phone so that she could use Wi-Fi to start looking for jobs and making arrangements for herself, which during the pandemic she had no other option. I mean, the libraries were closed, so without this extra boost of help, she honestly would have been stranded. And once those needs were met and she was stable, she was able to, we did our intake assessment and started working on some deeper things like how to address having a criminal background when you're going through the job search process. When she does get a job, we will be able to help her with her first 2 weeks of transportation costs, which is something we do for our folks that a lot of times you wouldn't think about. How somebody is actually going to get through the first couple weeks till they get a paycheck. So we cover that cost and any things like steel-toed boots that they may need for a job that's willing to hire them, but they don't have the funds to actually get the uniform that they need. So we help them to get over that barrier until they can support themselves. I think that this is a good example because it really illustrates that had we not been there to assist her with those day of release emergency needs, she really would not have had access to that forward progress that she's made. And so I think it's a good illustration of what makes our program so crucial here in Loudoun County. And now more than ever, we are seriously depending on the generosity of small grants and individual donors to keep our services available in the absence of any county funding again this year. So we really appreciate you taking the time to listen to our story and to learn a little bit about us. I hope this was informative for you, and if you're curious for more, because there is a lot more that we do that I didn't have time to cover, please go ahead and check out our website. I have that listed here, and my email address, seisdorfer@oarnova.org. Again, take a screenshot, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have or chat about the services that we provide. So thank you again for your leadership of Loudoun County, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your meeting.